front and back. Round and up. Keeping your hips level. One more time. Heel. Tip of the toe. Good. Put the ball of your foot down. Bend your back knee. Bend your front. And then press your back heel down. Press. Press. Good. So you're drawing your back heel forward over the ball of the foot to open your foot. Turn your back toes in, your back heel out, right hand high. Three, two, one. And stepping up, left knee up and around and tip of the toe. Up, around, tip of the heel. Up and around to the toe. Good. One more. You'll take the ball of your left foot back to the floor. Bend your front knee, bend your back knee, pull your heel forward, press back. In, out. Good. Turning your left toes in, your heel out, your left hand high. Three, two, heel down, hand high, stay a beat, bend your front knee. And stepping up. Feel. Out the feet, out the hands, stepping wide. So heels wide, toes spin apart. You two. We had a glitch and you have returned. Thank you, thank you. Heels wide, seat down. Holding a great ball, wag your tail, settle it in, crease your hips. Then pressing down, rise up. As you bend your knees, take your knees wide towards the pinky toes. Down. Inhale up. Without fully straightening the legs. We keep the legs a little bit soft. And the more that we press down into the ground, the more energy we get up out of the legs. So we get a little smaller. We're actually generating that. This is why it gets a little bit louder. Get even smaller. Right down inside, right into the place. It's a little intense, a little racy for 4, and for 3, and for 2. Good, good, good. And stand up tall. Hands down to the front, step your feet back. Putting the blanket down beneath your knees and your shins, your blocks up at the front. And we'll do a fold towards child's pose. Arms out long. Inhale, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. And that becomes our flow. Hands, knees, and child. And rise, and dog. Into hands and knees. Out to down dog. We go one more full circle like that. Hands and knees. Child's pose. And down dog. Good. Walk your feet to your hands. Set your blocks down. Hands go wide. Big bend in your knees. Turn your thumbs up, your heart up. You stand up, inhaling up. Good. Hands wide, knees bend. Hands to block, step your left foot back, left knee down, hands up high. Breathing in and down. Stepping up, sitting down, rising tall. Other side, hands down. Right foot back, right knee down, hands up high. Inhale. And down. Stepping up. Inhale. Exhale, folding. Left foot, left knee, two hands. And down. Step up. Sit down, reach wide. And fold. Right foot back, right knee. Two hands up. Lift the chin, lift the heart. And set it down. Stepping up. Inhale, rise. Each side, fold down. Left foot, left knee. Hands up. And down. Step up. Stand tall. Hands wide, sit down. Right foot, right knee. Hands high. Setting down, set your blocks aside, down dog, step back. Feel the length of the underside of your body now. The chest, the armpits, a little tuck of the chin, broadening your shoulders. Bringing your knees down and together. Bring your feet together, your heels together. As you hug your inner thighs together, your hands take a half step forward. And the right hand turns to the right to 2 o'clock, the left to the 10 o'clock. A bend of the elbows and draw back. As you come forward, exhale. As you draw back, inhale. As you come forward, press your toes away and the crown of the head away. And then coming back, pull your knees towards your chest. And let there be work from the navel to your toes. So it's less about falling into your arms and more about hugging your feet together and pulling your knees back, pulling your hips to your heels. Let your legs do the work. 5, 4, 3, 2. So as you come into a high push-up position, you can fold your blanket out of the way. Roll onto your outer left foot and step your right foot halfway up. Turn your toes to perpendicular. And then right knee towards your left heel draws towards the right knee, hand floats. Turn your palm to the front and slowly, fully reach over. So the legs are very strong. The bottom heel drawing in towards the bottom hip, the right knee going back towards the heel. This will lift the hips, scissor the thighs, feel the pelvic floor right here. On the exhale, the pelvic floor comes into the body. Right up in behind the navel, the energy up in and up to the head. And the right hand wide and down dog. High plank, come to the outside of your right foot. Left foot perpendicular. Left knee towards the right heel toward the knee, scissor the thighs and lift the left hand overhead. Strengthen the legs, stand in your feet. Inner thighs drawing together. Feel the pelvic floor rising physically. And feel the energy from there up to the crown of the head. And then left hand high, look down, set down. Downward facing dog. Walk it out. Ay. Feel where it's sticky. Feet, hips, ribs, shoulders. To walk your feet to your hands and add your strap. So sit your seat down and stand up tall. Open your strap to the width that it can travel up and over your shoulders. Be kind, be wise here, please. Notice your shoulder joints, notice and respect the history of your shoulders. Hands back. Wrap your palms to face back. Sit your seat down, deepen the seat. And then fold your ribs over your thighs and your hands come overhead. Lengthen. Heels down, hips come high. This is inhale. Hands down, sit down. This is exhale. Inhale up, we flow. Sit down. Inhale over. Exhale, sit down. Inhale, rise. And down. And fold. One more time. We'll sit it down deep as you can into the squat, folding over, hips high, heels low, and bend one knee and bend the other to slowly, softly turn, making a little more space underneath each shoulder blade, one at a time, until we find the center. From the heels to the toes, you are long. Turn the chin, release the back of the neck. And your hands come down to your hips, big bend in the knees, heart forward, look forward, look forward, look forward, look forward, stand up. Setting it down. Shake out your feet, shake out your knees. Good. Left foot, right knee. Interlace your fingers and draw your right knee up and your left heel down. Broaden your chest. Left heel down, left hand high. Stand more authority. Certainty. Right hand up. Hinge at the hips, press your right heel back and pause. Open the elbows, toes to the floor, hands up. Interlace your fingers, press up. Draw your back heel forward and back. Open the foot. And draw your heel forward, keep that. Right hip forward, keep that. Right hand high, keep that. Ribs back. Lift your back thigh, bend your front knee. Firm your right thigh. Open the front of the hip by strengthening the left leg. Release your hands. Reach out. Right knee to chest. Stand up. Hand down. Pause. And change. Left knee to chest. Interlace your fingers, left knee up, right heel down, as though drawing your feet apart. Heel to the floor, hand high. Open your right elbow, left hand high, open your left elbow. Keep that. Right knee bends, left heel straight back, steady. Toe to the floor, hands up high, interlace your fingers. Draw the heel forward and back. Forward and back. Heel forward, left hip forward. Firm the left thigh by lifting the thigh bone. Left hand high, bend your right knee. Left thigh is your anchor, strong and clear. Hug the muscle toward the bone. Hands forward, chin in. Left knee to chest, hands down, step up. And foot to the floor. And sitting down. Heels wide, knees wash side to side. So that our stability never becomes rigidity, right? So our routine doesn't become dead. Left foot to the floor, right over the left and side to side. Aware that it's always changing. And then to the center. Walk your left heel closer, walk your hands closer, heart comes up. Send your right knee forward. Flex your right foot. Lift your hips and bring your left hip to or towards your left heel. And your left hand around your outer right foot, sit up tall. Draw your right knee forward and soften your right hip for 3. For 2. And back. Heels wide, side to side. And then left over right. Send your left knee forward. Walk your hands in, side to side. Find the center. Right heel comes closer. Or your right hip's up, right hip to right heel. Right arm around, hold the shin. Left knee opens, left hip opens. Releasing, build a cross-legged seat. Blocks, blankets, bolster, chair, what serves you. Hips higher than your heels. Hands to thighs. In for 4. Out for 4. Just start there. Smooth and simple. You're about 70% full, no force. And we add Mulabandha. You may add it on the exhale if you're new. If you're learning more, inhale for 4, pause, and in that 4 count pause, just gather the pelvic floor or the energy around it up, and then releasing that with the breath out. In for 4, pause for 4, out for 4. Heart up, chin in, spine tall. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hook your thumbs. 3 more sips in. Hold that heart up. Tuck your chin. Lift the pelvic floor. Draw your attention up through the body to the crown of the head. When you let go, hands wide, breath out the top of your head. Spraying wide like a mist around a fountain. Take it with you. Legs out, shake out your feet, shake out your knees. And cross your legs with your heels underneath your knees. If you have managed to stay with YouTube, we've got 3 glitches so far. You're doing great. It's like a rodeo. You're fantastic. Thank you so much. Hands on shins, draw back, come forward. Exhale, inhale, we go. Let the movement, notice if you're willing your hips to move from your chest. And instead, initiate the movement from the muscles of your hips, your pelvis, your low abdomen, your low back. Initiate from there. Inhale, exhale. Close your eyes a minute right here. In the last 15 seconds, let it quicken. Forward and back, looser, taller, lighter, freer. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause tall and be still, just feel. The breath changes, the movement changes. Feel your seat on the mat. Put your fingertips to your shoulders. Turning left, turning right, turn from the seat. Inhale left, exhale right. Close your eyes, 2 minutes. Work there, or wrist rising over the elbow, thumb first, fingertip touch. Inhale left, exhale right. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up high, 3 sips in. Heart up, chin in, just pausing. Elevating your attention up through the body, up through the body, up through the body. At the top of the head, exhale, hands down. Set your blanket aside. Bring a block with you as you lie down on your back. Keep coming, YouTube. Bend your knees. Heels are directly under your knees. Elbows beside you. Press your heels down, your elbows down. Peel up. This is inhale. Roll down. This is exhale. So we move in and up. Out and down.
But the work really is about simply standing in your heels, simply standing in your elbows, and let the body follow along rather than forcing the hips up. Stand in your feet. Two. One more. If you like, interlace the fingers, pinkies down, hips up, arms strong. For 3, 2. The elbows release, the hands widen, roll down through your spine. Heels wide, toes turn in. Take your block, set it between the thighs. Let your breath become smooth and simple. Four counts in, pause 4 counts out. And maybe that's what you work. Or as you pause the breath, hold the block, let the pelvic floor rise. As you exhale, release the legs, release the breath. Continuing. In for 4. Pause 4, hold the block, pelvic floor rising. And then exhale. Soften the legs and the body. Continue. Making sure you release it entirely. Exhaling all the way out, releasing the pelvis all the way out. Set your block aside. Each day we start to become a little more familiar with how to hold ourselves together. As we hold ourselves together, we don't need to put something in the way to make it easier. We can notice, we can engage, we can solve, can listen, can let go. And that little holding, that little momentary pause, we just stay with everything that is and we let it go. Right hand overhead, left knee to chest, and set down. Left hand, right foot, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Work here. When you're ready, the legs extend. Press the hand and the heel into the floor. And feel that propel the opposite hand and heel up into the air. Good. This power means something different to each of us. Just find yours. If my words don't land, don't fight with them. Feel the power you have. Feel the power you need and you want. Let it grow. 3 minutes. Press down into the floor. If you notice your hip flexors wearing right now, it's more important to push the heel into the floor, the hand into the floor, and relax the hand, foot rising. A little lighter, a little freer, a little bit more playful. Inhale, exhale. 10 seconds. For 3, for 2, heel down, hands down, shake out your feet, shake out your knees. Shake your feet side to side, shake your knees up and down, wag your tail, wag your tail, wag your tail, wag your tail, wag your tail. Rest your hands on your hips. Four counts in, 4 counts out. Big and smooth and full. Without engaging the physical body whatsoever. See if you can pause the inhale. And it's just in the mind, gathering and rising and releasing. 3 more. Normal breathing. Hands overhead, interlace your fingers, reach your hands away, press into one foot and then the other, release the hips, lengthen your belly, shake your feet side to side, your knees up and down, wag your tail. Longer, longer, longer in the abdomen. And then draw your knees to your chest. 3 times, forward and back, rolling through the spine. And as you come up, build a cross kneeling position. So the blanket unfolds, a block between your heels, hands onto your thighs, navel forward, navel back. So that you can begin spreading this movement through the body. One option, hands on thighs. One option, hands on knees. One option, hands on heels. Inhale forward, exhale back, close your eyes. How you're moving the girdle of the pelvis, the bowl, across the femur heads, clearing the articulation between your body and your legs. Three, 2, 1. Pause tall. Keep your spine neutral, your heart over the point between your hips. Elbows back, palms up. Keep the elbows bent, hands overhead. Inhale, hands open. Exhale, hands overhead. In and out. Eyes closed. 15 seconds. That's the boundary. You know where the end is. You are safe. You are contained. Stay in it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands up high, breathing in. Just pause the breath. Elevate the Muladhara. And then release your hands down, the breath out, the body at great peace. Eyes closed. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. If you don't want to engage Muladhara, don't do it. I would prefer 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Big, steady, contained, organized. If you want to practice a little lift at the end, that's fine. Hands and knees. Cat, cow. Eyes closed. Move the spine. Neutral. Eyes closed, weight into the base of your thumbs. Open your elbows. Weight into the base of your first fingers, a little side to side. Anchor into your hands. Pressing down into your hands, widen your upper back, lengthen the back of your neck, navel into the spine. Keep that. Knees heavy. Hips over the knees press down, energy up the thigh bones, across the back. Try to widen your thigh bones, try to widen your seat. Energy up the spine. When we push down, an equal opposite force returns up through us. And then back, tucking the toes and down. So this inversion of the heels floating over the hips can be done at the wall. If I was at the wall, I would have my blanket folded just this way and I would sit in the center just as we have, and my legs would go up the wall. If that's your preference, set it up. The difference is that at the wall, I have a distance, a fist's width between the wall and the blanket so that my hips and my tail can drop ever so slightly down the other side of that blanket and rest the backs of my thighs on the wall. So there's a little gap between the blanket and the wall if you go to the wall. And that will help. The wall will help to open the backs of your knees, lengthen the hamstrings. And if you prefer, you can stay here for as long as you like and let the class pause or go on. Elbows widen, hands holding the thighs. Find the point where your legs widen to a place that's expanding your capacity, your reach, your container, but it's not straining you. So once you've found that, that's what you support. You can use blocks under the outer knees, you can use your hands, but you're just supporting the edge of your capacity. Deepen your breath. Soften your inner left knee, inner left thigh, inner right knee, inner right thigh. Left outer hip and buttock. Right outer hip and buttock. Soften the low back and the deep low belly. Your attention in your left hip joint and then your right hip joint. And in the space in between, there is light, heat, strength, freedom, determination, positivity, structure, order. Brighter and fuller and softer. Bending your knees, let it come up or stay as long as you like. Or stay here as long as you like. Pause and join me when you're ready. Feet down, hands to thighs. Turning to your side, building a cross-legged seat. Pausing your playlist if it's gone on. As you land hands on thighs, let your breath be free and easy. Let your heart float up. Your chin lightly in. I am this bright, ordered self. And this self is known as the Sat Nam, the true self. So we repeat it, so we sound it, so we fill it with vibration. Our vibration that no one else is capable. This is our sound. 8 count Sat, 2 count Nam, 8 count inhale. Sitting tall, inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Normal breathing. Aware of the left sits bone and the right sits bone, how you make contact with the mat. That space between bright, humming with your frequency, with your resonance. I am this sound, this frequency. Soften your shoulders. Sit a little taller, back of the neck opens, chin lightly tucks. A minute. Dignified. Stay as long as you like. And when you're ready, you deepen your breathing. Feel the front body, back body, side body. And inhale wide and high, palms together. Thumbs at the center of the forehead. One more Sat Nam, inhale. Nam. I am this. Sat Nam. See myself. Day 21, we have crossed into the second half. You may be experiencing a quality of upset. You may not. However, that quality of upset, or really sort of noticing what's going on around you a little bit differently, noticing family dynamics with a little more granularity and almost a little more irritability. You're waking the aspect of yourself that says, this is how I choose to exist. Here I am. And as you wake that, you are less comfortable with the discomforts. And so in that, there's a temptation to react, to lash out or blame or point or use all kinds of wonderful old familiar habits. In college, I was bulimic because I would use food as a way of dealing with whatever was coming that was uncomfortable, or a way of trying to make myself into something else. It was something I could try to control. It made me so weak and ill and unhappy and confused. But it was what I had and what I could control. And then after
after college, and when I left college, my heart just broke into many pieces. And what college had taught me was alcohol is a way of celebrating, and alcohol is a way of forgetting the work of the week, and alcohol is a great way to numb yourself. So after college, I would drink. It got uncomfortable, I would drink. I'm not really a drinker though, so it didn't work, and just made me feel really quite ill and unhappy. Yesterday, I noticed a lot of discomfort for myself, lots of noise, lots of conversation internally, lots of just like sort of emotional blah. And my good Adam says, hey, I've made you a salt bath, right? And I get in the bath and he pulls the curtain and he sits on the toilet. And when I described this to Lily, she said, he built you a confessional. Which was super true. And I sat in the candlelight and I sat in the warm bath and I didn't put food in it and I didn't put alcohol in it and I didn't run away from it. And I explained to him what was uncomfortable with great honesty. What was uncomfortable between he and I that I had been carrying. And he listened and he said, what's more? Tell me more. And I listened and I spoke and I worked my way through it. And the water grew cold. I came out and I began writing and I found the thread of a possibility and I said, hey, what about this? And I wrote my way into a solution. And I was so happy. Like all of the discontent had come apart and I could really land. This is what I needed. I needed to know what I was doing well. I needed to remember that I was contributing somehow. And it lasted. I had great dreams, got up the next day, felt great. The practice is an opportunity to know that you are stronger than you think and that you can get upset and you can come back to your anchor, to your foundation, that there's an order and that you can dump everything out of all the closets and all the drawers, sift it, organize it, put it back, and it will be better. But there will be upheaval and you are capable of putting it back in order when you're ready, without anything in the way, without sugar or over-exercising or blaming or cursing or whatever it is. You're welcome to that. When I do that, then I have more to deal with later, and there's a lot of apologizing that has to happen. And then I feel like a lousy mom and a lousy lover, and it's just, that's no fun for me. And so I offer this to you that, like, why are we coming here and why are we doing this and why am I facing all this upheaval all of a sudden? I thought this was grounding. You bet you are creating a new level of clarity for yourself. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you're taking the time to do this. I'm so grateful that I have enough upheaval to see it and say, hey, this might be your experience. And I will always share that with you. It is not an easy path to evolve ourselves. It is easier to eat, and it is easier to drink, and it is easier to numb it out for a while. But you're stronger than that. When you build a strong foundation, now we can begin to evolve. Now we can love more clearly. Now we can know more fully. Now we can speak more directly. I'll see you tomorrow. Same thing, doing it up. I'll meet you here. Sat Nam.